Most people think of liver problems as something silent, something that creeps up unnoticed, tucked away beneath the ribs, only revealing itself through lab tests or serious symptoms. But here's the thing most people miss. In many cases, your body is already sounding the alarm, and it's doing it through your feet. Yes, your feet. That part of your body we tend to overlook, unless they're sore at the end of a long day. Turns out the feet can act like a mirror, reflecting dysfunctions happening deep inside your body, especially in your liver. In fact, research from hepatology clinics around the world has documented patterns, changes in foot temperature, swelling, skin texture, and even nail appearance have all been linked to compromised liver function. Why does this happen? Because the liver isn't just a filter, it's a metabolic command center. It processes toxins, regulates hormones, manages blood flow, and keeps inflammatory signals in check. When that system starts to falter, you don't always feel it in your abdomen first. You feel it at the edges, in your extremities, especially your feet, where circulation is most vulnerable. Now here's where it gets even more relevant. Early signs in the feet often appear before full-blown liver disease is diagnosed. This means your body might already be whispering clues that something needs attention, if you know how to listen. What's happening physiologically? What are the red flags to watch for in your feet? And more importantly, how can you support your liver health using tools backed by neuroscience and behavioral science? That's what we're going to break down in this episode. You'll also learn 6 science-backed ways your feet can reflect liver dysfunction, why these signals appear from a nervous system and circulatory perspective, and the daily behaviors, sleep patterns, and nutrition habits that can dramatically support your liver and your brain mood and energy levels in the process. This isn't about alarmism. It's about awareness and action. Because when you understand how your systems are connected, you stop waiting for problems to explode and start making smarter, earlier moves to stay strong and clear-headed for life. Let's get into it. Have you ever felt a strange numbness, tingling, or even burning in your feet, especially at night, or when you're sitting still for a while? Most people assume it's a circulation issue or that it's related to aging or poor posture. But here's something most doctors won't tell you up front. Certain types of liver dysfunction can silently damage your nerves, especially the small sensory nerves in your feet. This condition is called peripheral neuropathy, and while it's commonly linked to diabetes, liver-related neuropathy is well documented in medical literature. A 2008 study in the journal Liver International found that over 50% of patients with chronic liver disease showed signs of peripheral nerve damage, often in the lower limbs first. What's happening here isn't random. The liver plays a key role in metabolizing ammonia and other neurotoxic waste products. When the liver starts to struggle, especially in cases of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, or cirrhosis, those substances start to build up in the bloodstream. And the nerves, particularly in your feet and hands, are the first to feel the effects. Why the feet? Because they're the farthest from the central nervous system and the last stop in the circulatory line. They rely on a clean, steady supply of blood and well-regulated nerve signals to function properly. If the liver isn't clearing toxins efficiently, those toxins circulate longer and they damage the delicate myelin sheaths that insulate nerve cells. This disrupts the signal transmission, leading to that prickly, buzzing, or burning sensation. And here's the twist. Many people start treating the symptom, trying foot soaks, creams, or circulation boosters, without ever realizing their liver may be part of the root problem. So what can you do? Let's talk about tools. One of the most impactful behavioral interventions is improving mitochondrial function through consistent early morning light exposure and movement. Why? Because mitochondrial health is central to both liver detox and nerve repair, and both of those systems sync with your circadian rhythms. Here sips a simple protocol. Get 10 to 15 minutes of natural sunlight within 60 minutes of waking. This helps regulate your cortisol rhythm and supports mitochondrial activity, which plays a role in detoxification and energy distribution. Pair it with 5 to 10 minutes of light movement, even just walking or gentle stretching. This activates muscle insulin sensitivity, improves blood flow, and supports liver metabolism without overloading your system. Another evidence-backed tool, alpha-lipoic acid, ALA, a powerful antioxidant shown to improve nerve symptoms in both diabetic and liver-induced neuropathy cases. In clinical trials, 600 milligrams of ALA daily led to measurable improvements in nerve function within 3 to 6 months. And here's the mindset shift that matters. Instead of seeing foot numbness as just a nuisance, start treating it like a diagnostic clue, a signal from the periphery that your core systems need attention. So next time you feel that buzzing, tingling, or discomfort, pause. Ask yourself, how have I been supporting my liver lately? Am I getting regular movement, clean hydration, and sleep that aligns with my natural rhythms? Because symptoms are rarely random. They're your body's early language, a way of getting your attention before things get worse. Up next, we'll look at a sign that's easy to overlook: swelling in the feet. It seems harmless, but it might be your body's way of showing that liver proteins are out of balance and that fluid regulation is being quietly hijacked from the inside. But before we move on, if this insight helped connect the dots for you, consider subscribing. This channel is built around decoding your body's subtle messages and giving you science-based tools to respond. There's more like this ahead. Swollen feet. At the end of the day, puffy ankles that leave sock marks, a sense of heaviness or fluid buildup, especially in hot weather or after long periods of standing. Most people chalk it up to poor circulation or being on their feet too long. But when swelling becomes chronic, especially without injury, it's worth looking deeper. And one of the first places to look is your liver. Here, steps why. The liver isn't just a detox organ. It also makes critical proteins that control how fluids move through your body. One of the most important of these is albumin, a protein that helps maintain something called oncotic pressure. That's the internal balance that keeps fluid inside your blood vessels instead of leaking into surrounding tissues. When liver function drops, from conditions like fatty liver disease, hepatitis, or early cirrhosis, albumin production goes down, and when albumin is low, fluid starts to escape from the blood vessels and pool in the soft tissues. The feet and ankles are ground zero simply because they're furthest from the heart and most affected by gravity. This is what doctors call edema. And in liver-related cases, it often starts subtly. Maybe your shoes feel tighter, or your socks leave a deeper imprint. Maybe you press on your shin and notice a dent that stays for a few seconds. That's called pitting edema, and it can be a soft clue of liver stress long before blood tests show anything dramatic. Now, you might ask, how do I know if my foot swelling is liver-related, or just normal fatigue? Here's a simple distinction. If swelling is symmetrical, happens regularly, and isn't tied to trauma or joint problems, your liver or kidneys or heart should be on your radar, especially if it's paired with things like fatigue, brain fog, or unexplained weight gain. And here's what the research shows. A study in Hepatology 2010 looked at patients with non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, a more aggressive form of fatty liver, and found that over 60% had signs of peripheral edema, even when liver enzymes were only mildly elevated. So, what can you do about it? The first and most accessible tool is movement, but not just random movement. What works best is intermittent walking throughout the day, especially after meals. Why? Because walking activates the calf muscle pump, which is essentially your body's second heart. It helps push fluid back up from the lower limbs toward the torso and liver, where it can be filtered and recirculated. Here's a quick protocol. After each meal, walk for 5 to 10 minutes, even indoors. Use a timer to get up every 60 to 90 minutes during the day. If seated for long periods, try rocking your feet back and forth to keep the calf muscles engaged. Another behavioral tool, cold exposure, especially localized, like a brief cold foot bath or alternating warm and cool water in the shower. Why it works. Cold constricts blood vessels temporarily, which helps redistribute fluid and stimulates vascular responsiveness. That in turn supports both circulation and liver blood flow. But the bigger idea here is this: swollen feet aren't just cosmetic. They're functional signals. Your liver is telling you it's not keeping up with protein synthesis and fluid balance, and your feet are where that imbalance shows up first. So next time you feel that slow creeping puffiness in your ankles, just elevate your legs and move on. Use it as a prompt. Have I been supporting my liver workload? Am I eating in a way that stabilizes blood sugar and reduces inflammation? Am I moving enough to keep fluid dynamics in check? This small shift in awareness can lead to major changes in how you feel day to day. If insights like this help you read your body better, hit that subscribe button. This channel exists to turn vague symptoms into meaningful signals and give you tools that actually work. Next, we'll tackle a subtle sign that people almost never associate with the liver, but should: yellowing of the feet or nails, and what that tells us about bilirubin buildup and early detox stress. Most people have heard that yellowing in the eyes or jaundice can be a warning sign of liver problems, but very few realize this. One of the earliest places subtle yellowing shows up is in the feet. The skin on the soles, the toenails, even the cuticles, all of these areas can reveal early shifts in bilirubin, a pigment created when the liver breaks down old red blood cells. Now here's where it gets interesting. Bilirubin itself isn't dangerous. In fact, in small amounts it even acts as an antioxidant. But when the liver is overwhelmed, bilirubin starts to accumulate. It gets deposited into soft tissues, especially those with slow circulation, and that includes the lower limbs. One 2006 study published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology found that dermatological signs, including nail discoloration and yellowing in the extremities, were present in nearly 40% of patients with chronic liver disease, often months before jaundice was visible in the eyes. So what does this look like in real life? You might notice a subtle yellow or brown tint under the toenails. The skin on the soles of the feet may look more saffron-toned than pink, even in good lighting. These changes are often dismissed as poor hygiene or aging. But when they appear alongside fatigue, digestive changes, or swelling, they're worth paying attention to. What sips happening beneath the surface? Bilirubin is fat-soluble. That means it gets stored in fatty tissues when the liver can't process it fast enough. And because your feet have fewer oil glands and slower turnover, they're often one of the first places this pigment shows up and one of the last places it clears. And here sips another layer. Bilirubin buildup isn't just a cosmetic issue. High levels, even mildly elevated, can impair brain function, slow metabolism, and increase oxidative stress in nerve and muscle tissue. But there's good news: your body can reverse this trend, and fairly quickly if you support the liver with the right behaviors. Here's a tool you can start using immediately. Time-restricted eating, also known as early time-restricted feeding. The protocol is simple. Finish your last meal at least 3 hours before bedtime. Keep your daily eating window within 10 hours or less, ideally starting in the morning. This approach has been shown in multiple studies, including a 2016 paper in Cell Metabolism, to reduce liver fat, improve bile flow, and enhance the liver's detox efficiency, including bilirubin clearance. Another supportive tool is bitters. Yes, those herbal extracts your grandparents might have used. Natural compounds like dandelion root, artichoke leaf, and milk thistle stimulate bile production, which helps the liver eliminate bilirubin more effectively. These can be taken as tinctures before meals or included in teas. Now, to be clear, yellowing in the feet doesn't always mean something serious. But if you notice it and you've been dealing with sluggish digestion, irritability, brain fog, or skin issues, it might be time to check in on your liver. This isn't about becoming hypervigilant. It's about understanding that your body is a feedback machine, and color changes in the skin are one of its most basic alert systems. So next time you trim your nails or take off your socks, take a second to look. Is the skin warm and healthy looking? Or is there a slight dullness or yellow cast that wasn't there before? That subtle clue could be your liver whispering, "I stim working too hard." Now we'll look at another underappreciated link: why cracked heels, dry skin, and strange discoloration on your feet could actually be about hormone imbalance and toxin buildup, and what science says you can do about it. Let's be honest, most of us treat cracked heels or dry, flaky feet as a cosmetic issue, something to fix with lotion or a pumice stone. But what if I told you those dry, splitting heels might be telling you something about your liver's hormonal and detox load? Here sits what sits really going on under the surface. Your liver isn't just responsible for filtering out toxins, it's also a hormone processing plant. It breaks down excess estrogen, cortisol, and thyroid hormones, converts them into safer forms, and sends them out through bile. When the liver is sluggish or overburdened, those hormones can accumulate and start causing subtle but meaningful disruptions, especially in the skin. Now, the skin on your feet, particularly your heels, has fewer oil glands than other parts of your body. That means it's already prone to dryness, but when hormonal clearance is impaired, the skin's ability to retain moisture, regenerate, and maintain its protective barrier drops sharply. One study in clinical dermatology found that patients with chronic liver dysfunction had a significantly higher rate of skin conditions, including xerosis, severe dry skin, palmoplantar keratoderma, thickened soles and palms, and spontaneous fissures, especially around the heels. And it's not just dryness. Dark patches, reddish hues, or even ashy discoloration in the soles or toes can be early signs that your body's detox pathways, including glutathione recycling and bile excretion, are struggling to keep up. Let's get practical. If you're seeing cracked heels or dry, discolored feet that don't improve with simple moisturizing, a surface-level fix won't cut it. The real solution starts from the inside, specifically with liver phase 2 detox support. This is the part of detox where the liver takes toxins and hormones, attaches them to carrier molecules, a process called conjugation, and prepares them to be excreted. And this process depends heavily on micronutrients, especially B vitamins, magnesium, zinc, and sulfur-containing amino acids like cysteine and methionine. Here sips a science-backed protocol to support that system. Start your day with protein-rich foods that include sulfur-based amino acids, like eggs, garlic, onions, or lean meats. Include leafy greens daily, especially arugula, dandelion, spinach, or mustard greens, which support bile flow and phase 2 conjugation. Add 100 to 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or citrate before bed. It supports both detox and skin regeneration and helps with deeper sleep. Want an even simpler tool? Hydration timing? Your liver performs most of its detox work at night, especially between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., according to circadian biology studies. So making sure you're well hydrated before bed without overloading supports bile production and waste elimination. Try this. Stop caffeine by noon. Drink 16 to 20 ounces of water with electrolytes or a pinch of sea salt around 7 to 8 p.m. This primes the liver to do its work overnight, and over time you may start noticing your skin, including your feet, looking more supple and less irritated. And here sits the mindset shift that matters. Instead of seeing cracked heels as a minor annoyance, treat them as a biofeedback mechanism. Your skin is part of your excretory system. When the liver is overwhelmed or imbalanced hormonally, the skin, especially in the feet, becomes a pressure valve. If you're finding these insights helpful, share this with someone who's always looking for the why behind symptoms. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. We break down the science behind what your body's trying to tell you. Coming up, why frequently cold feet, even when the room is warm, could point to a breakdown in liver-related temperature regulation and vascular tone. Ever notice how your feet feel cold, even when the rest of your body is warm, or when the room temperature seems fine? Not just a little cool, but persistently cold, not from poor circulation alone, not just a side effect of aging. That coldness may actually be tied to your liver. Here is how it works. The liver plays a quiet but powerful role in temperature regulation. Most people don't connect the dots, but the liver produces heat, a lot of it. In fact, it's the second most heat-producing organ in the body after the brain. As it metabolizes nutrients, filters toxins, and regulates hormones, it generates thermal energy that helps maintain your core temperature. When liver function declines, especially in conditions like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or early-stage liver fibrosis, this internal heat production can drop, and your body has to compensate. To preserve warmth in the core, your nervous system reduces blood flow to the periphery, the hands and feet. That's especially true if your autonomic nervous system is already under stress from inflammation, poor sleep, or insulin resistance. The result, cold feet. Not just in winter, sometimes even under blankets. One study published in the Journal of Autonomic Nervous System found that individuals with liver disease had significantly impaired thermoregulatory responses including reduced skin temperature and slower warm-up times in the extremities compared to healthy controls. This is your nervous system triaging heat, prioritizing vital organs and sacrificing extremities. And often people notice this before they ever feel pain, fatigue, or digestive issues. So what can you do to support temperature balance from the inside out? Start with the basics, restore metabolic efficiency in the liver. And that begins with blood sugar regulation. When your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing from processed carbs, late-night snacking, or inconsistent meals, your liver gets overloaded managing those fluctuations. Over time, that metabolic stress reduces the liver's ability to generate heat and regulate downstream systems. Here's SIPS, a simple protocol that supports liver thermogenesis and nervous system balance. Eat a high-protein, fiber-rich breakfast within 90 minutes of waking. This stabilizes your blood glucose and reduces midday crashes, which lessens liver strain. Avoid eating heavy meals or sugary foods within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime. This gives your liver a chance to detox and regulate hormones without dealing with a flood of glucose or triglycerides. You can also support vascular responsiveness, which affects how blood moves to the feet by practicing contrast therapy. Try ending your shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water, focusing on your feet and lower legs. This improves the tone of your blood vessels over time, making them more responsive and better able to adjust to thermal changes. And here's a neuroscience-based tool that's often overlooked: deep diaphragmatic breathing, especially before bed. Why? Because this type of slow, controlled breathing shifts your autonomic nervous system from sympathetic fight or flight into parasympathetic rest and digest. This improves blood flow to the periphery, including the feet, and helps your body rebalance thermal distribution overnight. Try this protocol: 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Repeat for 3 to 5 minutes, lying down with your eyes closed. If your feet warm up during or after this, it's a strong signal your nervous system was stuck in overdrive, and your liver may have been part of the load causing that. The takeaway here isn't that cold feet equal liver disease. It's that persistent, unexplained coldness is a clue, especially if it's paired with fatigue, poor sleep, or other low-level symptoms. So next time you find yourself reaching for socks in a warm room, ask, am I getting enough protein? Is my liver overloaded from blood sugar swings or chronic stress? How well is my nervous system allowing blood flow to reach the edges? Now next, why foot pain or stiffness, especially first thing in the morning, might be a hidden sign of liver-related inflammation and mitochondrial stress. Most people don't connect liver health with how their feet feel in the morning. But that first step out of bed, the heaviness, the dull ache, or even stiffness in your soles, can actually be a downstream effect of what's happening inside your liver. Here it's what the science tells us. When your liver is under stress, especially from chronic inflammation, poor sleep, alcohol use, or metabolic overload, its ability to manage systemic inflammation drops. It also struggles to support your body's mitochondria, the cellular engines that power nearly every function in your body, including muscle repair, nerve signaling, and joint recovery. The result: you wake up feeling like your body didn't fully reset. The feet, which are loaded with small muscles, tendons, and capillaries, bear the brunt of this. They feel sore, tight, or like you've already been standing all day, even before your morning coffee. A 2019 paper in Hepatology Research found that patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease often reported higher levels of morning fatigue, muscle stiffness, and joint pain, even when their liver enzymes were only slightly elevated. These symptoms weren't just in their head, they were the body's way of flagging poor overnight recovery. So what's SIPS going on physiologically? Let's talk mitochondria for a moment. Your liver is one of the most mitochondria-dense organs in your body, and it also supplies other tissues with resources they need for energy metabolism. When the liver is inflamed or overloaded, it starts producing more reactive oxygen species and fewer of the helpful metabolites your cells rely on to regenerate overnight. That means your muscles and fascia, especially in weight-bearing areas like the feet, don't get fully repaired while you sleep. You don't get the anti-inflammatory cleanup. You don't get the smooth muscle relaxation that normally resets your baseline. So what can you do? One of the most effective strategies is to optimize your sleep window and support liver function overnight. Here sits a science-backed protocol. Go to bed at a consistent time, ideally by 10 to 10:30 p.m. Why? Because your liver ramps up detox and metabolic repair between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. Disrupting that window with late-night screen use or erratic sleep cuts short that essential work. Avoid alcohol and ultra-processed foods after 6 p.m. Even 1 or 2 drinks or a high-sugar snack in the evening can spike inflammation and blunt melatonin, disrupting both sleep quality and liver detox. Add 1 to 2 servings of polyphenol-rich foods during the day. Think blueberries, olive oil, turmeric, or green tea. These compounds reduce oxidative stress and improve mitochondrial resilience in the liver and muscles. And here's one tool that's less talked about but incredibly effective: gentle foot mobility before bed. Something as simple as 2 minutes of rolling a ball under each foot, 1 minute of slow calf raises, a few ankle circles while lying down. This small routine increases circulation, primes the fascia for overnight recovery, and can significantly reduce that stiff step feeling in the morning. So next time your feet hit the ground and feel like bricks, don't ignore it. That early morning discomfort is feedback, not just from your feet, but from your liver, your mitochondria, and your overnight recovery system. Ask yourself, did I give my liver what it needed last night to reset? Am I sleeping long enough, early enough, and clean enough to support true restoration? Because how your feet feel at 7 a.m. might be the most honest review of your lifestyle you'll get all day. Now let's wrap this up by pulling all 6 insights together and giving you one clear challenge to take action today, so your body starts speaking with strength, not symptoms. Let sits bring it all together. What your feet have been trying to tell you through swelling, numbness, coldness, cracking, or morning stiffness isn't just about aging, bad shoes, or poor circulation. These are early warning signals, clues that your liver, the organ quietly running your entire metabolic command center, is under pressure. We have broken down 6 distinct ways this communication happens. Tingling, numbness or burning in the feet, can point to nerve stress from toxin buildup when the liver is overloaded. Swelling or puffiness around the feet and ankles may reflect low albumin, a protein the liver makes to keep your fluids balanced. Yellowing of the soles or nails can indicate elevated bilirubin, showing that detox pathways are struggling. Dry, cracked heels, or discoloration, often reflect poor hormone clearance and skin stress tied to sluggish liver function. Persistently cold feet, even in warm settings, are signs your liver and nervous system aren't regulating temperature well. Morning foot stiffness or dull aches may be caused by mitochondrial stress and inflammation that weren't properly cleaned up overnight. And behind every one of those signs is a science-backed tool you can use: morning sunlight and movement to support nerve repair and mitochondria, intermittent walking and cold exposure to reduce swelling and improve circulation, time-restricted eating to help the liver process bilirubin more efficiently, B vitamin and sulfur-rich foods to boost detox and hormone clearance, breathwork and contrast showers to restore vascular tone and nervous system balance, sleep timing and foot mobility routines to support overnight recovery and reduce morning inflammation. These are not fads, they're protocols grounded in what we now know about liver physiology, circadian biology, and nervous system regulation. Here's the bigger idea. Your body is never silent. It's always speaking, often in whispers before it screams. The feet are just one place where the liver's voice becomes visible. And when you start paying attention to these signals, you shift from reacting to symptoms to anticipating them. You become proactive. And that's where true health lives, not in chasing problems after they've exploded, but in understanding the early tremors and making steady, intelligent moves to stay strong. So here's your challenge today. Pick one of these 6 tools and start using it. Just one. Maybe it's a morning walk. Maybe it's getting your last meal in before dark. Maybe it's cutting alcohol after dinner. Whatever it is, track how your feet feel for the next 7 days. Track your energy. See if that one behavior moves the needle, because these tiny choices, when repeated, give your liver what it needs to take care of everything else: your mood, your hormones, your focus, your sleep, your longevity. And if this breakdown helped you understand your body better, helped connect symptoms with root systems, then let's keep going. Like the video if you got value from it. Leave a comment and share what your feet have been telling you lately or what tool you're going to try. Subscribe if you want to keep learning how to decode the quiet science behind how your body speaks. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness with action, because your body already knows how to heal. It just needs you to listen and respond. I'll see you in the next one.